Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, August the 29th. It is almost September. August is gone. The summer is officially gone. And we have blue lights on both of the microphones, so I'm hoping that means we are good to go. Let me get caught up with you here. Hello everybody. Again, this is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. This is chat number 238. So we are almost to 250. Can't believe it. Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. But hello everyone, please tell us hello. Oh, there's Trish. Hello Trish. If you're brand new, please go ahead and say hi and hello because we love to welcome new people. Hello Carol Lou, it is so good to see you. Hello everyone. I hope the volume sounds good today. I've got blue lights on both of the microphones, and hello Cynthia. But y'all have to remind me, I'm only going to use the batteries every 2 chats. So y'all have to remind me after this one, these batteries have got to get chucked and I have to get new ones. Hello Judith. And I looked today at the store across the street, hello John from Home Base, to see if they have rechargeable AAAs. They do not over there, so I'm going to have to hunt for them. Hello Stacy, because it is killing me to throw these away every 2 weeks. And hello Lynn, that's why I tried to squeeze that 3rd week out of them. Anywho, oh well. And hello Sandra from Demons Ferry, it is good to see you. Hello Rita, it's good to see you. And I just realized how much I'm missing seeing everybody on Sunday, so yeah, that really stinks. Anyway, thank you Cynthia, that's good to hear. So yeah, oh, and good, thank you, Sandra. So welcome to everybody, and again, if you're brand new, and thank you Trish, if you are brand, oh hello, Linda from Rock Island, Illinois, and hello Kelly, other Kelly, that is spelled correctly, just kidding, hello other Kelly. But if you are brand new, please let us know. If you're watching this later on YouTube, hello Myrna, you're going to tell us about the weather, because I think Myrna is in the area that is like purple right now, I think. And hello Vicky from St. Louis. But again, if you're watching this later on YouTube, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. Please say hello there as well, because I love to say hello. Hello Deborah, and hello Mary Ann from Pennsylvania. If you were in one of the areas where the weather is so bad, I am so sorry. We're going to get the remnants of that. I think we're supposed to see that on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Oh, and Kelly says she switched to the green plan this week. Okay, so Kelly, people will want to know, why did you switch to green? Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I've done green before. I've done all of them before. Hello Tag. But everybody will want to know. Everybody will want to know what, why you switched to green. Okay, and then somebody said that I missed it. It was going up so fast. Somebody said that the sound sounded awful. I thought the sound sounded great. So let me know, because I would be devastated if the batteries are only going to last 1 week. Anyway, hello Liz, hello Sherry from Florida, and I missed Linda. Hello Linda, good to see you. So you all let me know. Oh, and another Lynn is watching, but you all let me know how it sounds. Oh, and Betty Ann got back from Florida just in time. Did you come sliding in on 2 wheels like we usually do? But anyway, this is, again, August the 29th. It is and thank you, Carol Lou, for letting me know that. And hello, Sylvia from Oklahoma. And yes, yeah, everybody getting hit by the hurricane. We're so sorry, and thank you, Lynn, for letting me know that. So again, it's August the 29th. This is the last chat for August, so we're going to change topics come next Sunday. So that'll be the beginning of the September topic. And hello, Jean, it is good to see you, and thank you very much, Sylvia, for letting me know. Okay, and let's see, Joanna just snuck in there. Hello, Joanna. Oh, okay, and Cynthia, I was going to mention that. So Cynthia, let's see, Cynthia, weren't you the one, hold on a second. So Cynthia said one person at her WW meeting went to green and she wanted to be more accountable with the points. That makes sense. That actually does make sense. And there is Joanna. Joanna, yep, very good to see you. And thank you, Deborah. So what was I literally just getting ready to say? Oh, I think that it was, and hello, Sherry. I think it was Cynthia that was talking about this earlier, that her meeting time got, and hello, Sherry, got combined. So you all just know, I've heard this from several people, that the meetings have to have, the in-person workshops have to have a certain number of people. Man, Linda says it's cutting in and out. Okay, everybody else thinks it sounds good, Linda, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I've had several people say that the Weight Watcher owned locations, I don't know what else to call them, because we are a franchise owned location, so I think our rules are probably just a little bit different. But the WW or the Weight Watchers owned locations, Looks like they have to have a minimum number of people before they're going to stay open, and some of them have been combined. So I think it was Cynthia. I don't know. You're going to have to tell me when you're here. She was saying that they combined hers because you had to have 20. They had to have 20 people in person to keep the in-person workshop going, and they had to have 40 to keep the Zoom going. Okay, and it was Cynthia. Cynthia said the meetings have to have 20 people and the virtual need 40. So hello, Jennifer. It's good to see you. Are you home? So people who are in WW owned areas, you're going to have to let us know, because again, we're in Knoxville. We are a franchise area. So I don't know what that rule is, but you're not the first person who's told me that. So it seems like that may be the rule. And if Mindy gets on here in a few minutes, if she's here tonight, we can ask her as well. Okay. So Knoxville girls, if you are in, hello Kim from Withville, Virginia, if you are in the Knoxville area, the list of all the current in-person workshops for Knoxville and the surrounding areas are on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. If you go to the website, if you go to the website and to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, that's so weird. Yeah, Joanna had to switch to her phone too. That's so, that is so weird. But anyway, so if you are in the Knoxville area, you can go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and you can see it there. You can find that list there. Or if you go to Connect and go to the West Knoxville group or the Middle Tennessee group, you will find it there. Okay, so again, this is the last Sunday in August. This is August the 29th. This is chat number 238, and it is titled More Confidence at the Scale. Nobody likes talking about the scale, so I'm going to give you a few minutes to ease into that. But what I want to know first is who, besides me and Linda, sat their bottoms in a little chair last week. So if you went to a physical workshop last week, an in-person workshop, give me a thumbs up. Or if you attended a Zoom workshop last week, yeah, that's so weird, Linda. So apparently iPads are rebelling against my volume, because that's 2 people that had to switch to a phone. Sorry about that. Anyway, so give me, and hello Evie. So give me a thumbs up if you sat your bottom in a chair last week, or if you attended a workshop, and Cynthia did. Yep, I see several of y'all giving me thumbs up. Sandra was both. Yep, and give me some hearts if you attended with us here live last week on Facebook, or if you watched later. So you could have watched it later on Facebook, which a lot of you all did. There were like 1,400 of you or something that watched it later on Facebook. Or if you watched it on YouTube, and again, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, but give me hearts for that. So Lynn did both, Tag did both. Linda had her bottom in a green chair, and I'm glad she got her volume worked out before, the sound worked out before I had to say that. Yep, and Mary Ann was in a green chair too. We're still in white chairs. And I guess we will always be in. But for everyone who went to an in-person workshop, went to a Zoom workshop, or attended here with us live last week, or watched it on demand, here are your Bravo stickers. Bravo to everyone. And if you're brand new, we give out virtual Bravo stickers. WW quit giving out real Bravo stickers a long time ago, and I miss them, so we still hand them out. I will say this, I've been a little off my game this week. We have been under an immense amount of stress, and I'm not commenting on this to make a political statement or to start any conversation about I don't know, y'all know I just don't do drama, but we have been exposed to COVID or RSV 3 times this week, already 3 times this week. So we've been under an extreme amount of stress. Casey's had to stay home for a week. My new guy who just started is out. He's quarantined until September the 3rd. So apparently he brought us the South Carolina version of COVID. I'm just kidding. I know there's not different versions. And again, I'm not trying to start a debate. I'm just saying we have been under an extreme amount of stress this week. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being kind. And thank you for helping me stay on track, because weeks like this, when all of my help was gone, I just wanted to go, woo, and throw it in. But I didn't, because I knew that you all were going to be here this Sunday. So thank you all. Again, thank you all for being here. And because you all were here, I am 0.2, so I'm 0.2 of a pound away from hitting 10 pounds after coming back off of my boohoo during the pandemic last year. So thank you. So thank you to all of you. So here are extra Bravo stickers for everyone who is here tonight on August the 28th or 29th. And I have called it, I think everything I've dated today, I have dated August the 30th. So we'll just say it's the last Sunday of August. We'll just call it that, okay? But thank you all for being here, because this week has been yeah, it's been a definite challenge. But anyway, so far everybody's well, and we're all doing well. So, and if you do decide to come by in let's see, Liz, in about 5 weeks. So that's unusual. Liz wanted to know if it was 10 in 1 month. So that's 10 in about 5 weeks since we went back to in-person workshops. This is just, I think, the 4th week that I've reported on it, because we had the whole week after we started. But if you do decide to pop in and see us, and Jennifer, I'm glad that y'all didn't stop in that I didn't come and see you. But if you do decide to pop in and see us, we are back to masks. Okay, just so you know, here at Casey Kitchen Center. Okay, enough with that. So last week we were talking about building confidence. And when we were talking about building confidence all month. And so this is the last one. This is the last chat for the month of August, and talking about building confidence. And we start a new topic next month. But this whole month we've been talking about that. So last week we were talking about better body confidence, and y'all were hilarious. Y'all were so hilarious on the things that you all said about your bodies, and the things that you said about what they do. But last week we were talking about favorite people on the planet, and the things that we thought the most about them, like our top 3 things about them. Pick your favorite person on the planet, and and mention 3 things that are just why they're your favorite person. And so we just took a minute. We literally took 60 seconds last week to find this person's name and write this information down, and then to list the things that we loved about them, the things that made them our favorite person. And it was all things like best mom ever. And who was it? Somebody's grandmother was a little spitfire of a thing, and she dipped snuff. And I totally know what you're talking about, because a lot of the little old women around here hopefully used to do that. Hopefully that's a thing in the past. But everybody was talking about people that were loving, people that were heroes, people that were, ready to come to your aid, nice, big smiles. People were talking about things like that. Nobody was talking about how their rear ends looked in a pair of jeans. Nobody was talking about what size pants they wore. Oh, it was Lynn's granny. That's right, it was Lynn's granny. But nobody was talking about, what their cup size was, anything. Sorry, John. Nobody was talking about things like that. They were all talking about, other totally different things. So I don't know why we always, harp on ourselves. So your homework for last week was to pick a body part. So you were supposed to pick a body part that you focus on when you look at it in the mirror, when you think about it, one that one that you're kind of micro focused on. And then I wanted you to think about what that body part does for you, and then I wanted you to celebrate with some kind of a mantra, about how that body part is special to you. And so we talked about everything from, like, I have these lines, around my mouth now. But that doesn't keep Alyssa from asking me to whistle things. And I think the lines are from whistling, because I whistle all the time. All the time. I'm either humming or whistling when I'm not talking. So apparently I'm making some form of noise. I don't know if it's 24 hours a day. John will have to answer that question. But apparently if I'm awake, I'm making noise. But we talked about that. So your homework for last week was to pick that body part, to, think about that body part, which one it's going to be, to find something cool about it, something cool that it does for you, and then to make your mantra. So Lynn said that her flabby arms give good hugs. Those are the best kind of hugs, Lynn, the best kind of hugs. So thank goodness for flabby hugging arms. Barbara's also mentioned her arms, and she said her arms help her hold things, they help her cook, and they help her write. She's exactly right. You wouldn't be able to do that if you didn't have your arms. Sylvia says her arms are too big. So apparently we're all micro focused on her arms. She says that she said that her legs were too big. Sorry, I got on the arms thing there, Sylvia. She said her legs are too big, but she wouldn't be able to do Zumba or line dance without them. Those are some pretty important legs there, Sylvia. Those are very important. And then Vicki mentioned this during our chat last week, and that's exactly right. So Vicki, I have them too. Vicki has laugh lines, but you know why? It's because she loves to laugh. So I know we all want Vicki to keep laughing no matter how many wrinkles she has, no matter how many laugh lines she has. So for everybody that did your homework, and it was kind of fun this week because it was interesting to hear what you all said, but for everybody who did their homework, bravo. Here's your extra virtual bravo sticker, and you all also got a super cool badge from Casey. They just keep getting cuter every week, so I hope you all enjoy those as much as I do. I was thinking about actually making them into stickers, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, this is a topic that I don't like talking about. It's not that I don't like talking about it, but most of us don't like to talk about this. So I have a quick question. What's the worst day of the week? So what is the day that you dread? Is there one day a week that you dread more than any other day? And I know for me, it is Mondays, and I also love Mondays. So I simultaneously love and hate Mondays. I love Mondays because I get Alyssa, but I hate Mondays because it's Monday. You know, Alyssa is literally the only good thing about Mondays. So is there any day of the week that you just dread? Yep, Monday. Yep, Joanna says Monday. Yep, I know. And I say this all the time, and John can attest to this. John can attest to that Monday is my favorite day and my least favorite day. Yeah. Okay, so Vicky says Monday. Anita hit it. Anita says the day before weigh-in. Ooh, the day before weigh-in. Okay. And Betty says Monday when it's not her day off. And Evie says Friday. So Evie, I'm just curious, what is Friday? Okay, so I think everyone will agree that the only day of the week that is more dreaded than Monday is the dreaded weigh-in day. And I need some kind of spooky music. Dun, dun, dun. That's not scary. Okay. But anyway, so I think all of us would agree that other than Monday, or like Evie said, Friday, and I'm not sure what's wrong with Friday. Maybe that's her Monday. But for most of us, the anxiety that leads up to our appointment with the scale, it's worse than a root canal. I mean, most of us, because a root canal is one and done. You know, you go, you get it done, you're done. So you don't have to be anxious every week for it because you have it one time. But, you know, going to weigh in every week, I mean, I know people that wring their hands. I know people that are worried. I know people that are upset. I can't tell you how many times that I've gone, I'm just not going to go weigh in. I'm just not going to go weigh in. And occasionally, if we're really, really upset about it, Gwen just kind of gives us a pass and she'll say, okay, you don't have to weigh today. You just don't have to weigh. You know, if you can't deal with it, you don't have to weigh. She doesn't say it like that. But anyway, sometimes she'll give us a pass. So what I want to know is how many of you have weigh-in rituals that you do to try and make sure that your weigh-in day, you know, is the best that it can hope for. So how many of you have rituals? So give me a show of hands if you have rituals before you go for weigh-in. If you do kind of the same things, wear the same things, whatever. So we're going to talk about those in a second. But give me a show of hands, whatever, if you have rituals before you go to weigh-in. Then give me a thumbs up if you think that those rituals help. Okay, so Sandra's got her hand up. Which, by the way, Sandra in Illinois, Sandy in Illinois, had bypass surgery this week. So I don't know how many of y'all keep up with her or if she'll be here tonight. But if you have a chance to check in on her, when I talked to her day before yesterday, I think it was, she was doing pretty well, but it was a triple bypass. I didn't even know. I didn't even know she was having surgery. So if y'all get a chance to check on her, but yeah, lots of thumbs ups, lots of hands. Okay, so you have rituals that you do, and then some of us think that those rituals help us. So the thumbs ups was if the rituals help us. Okay, but my next question's a little more personal. So how many of you have gone in and thought, I did great this week, I did everything that I should do, I've got on my lucky weigh-in shoes, everything's good to go, and then you either don't lose anything or you gain some weight? So how many times has that happened? Ooh, and Joanna's is very specific. Joanna, you're going to have to use that for your homework this week because that's actually a good one. But for everybody, for every time that we have had, that all of us, because I've done it too. So for all of us that have had a weigh-in or had a week when we thought it was great, you did all of your ritual things, you had everything good to go, and then you either didn't get the weight loss that you thought you deserved or you stayed the same. All of us have had just as many times when we did not deserve a weight loss, and you get up on the scale and go, yes, because you also got a weight loss that you probably didn't deserve. So we're really quick to take the weight loss that we didn't deserve, but not so fast to accept when we've gained weight or stayed the same when we thought we had a great week. So some of those rituals, I've heard things like wearing the same clothes. So how many of you wear the same clothes every single time? I mean, I know girls that come in on Tuesday nights, or, they did, in years before, but on Tuesday nights, they would come in and they would wear exactly the same clothes every single week. So how many of y'all do that? How many of y'all, is that a ritual for you? This one is mine. I go to the bathroom every single time before I weigh in. I don't care if I just went to the bathroom here at Casey Kitchen Center 5 minutes before I left. As soon as I walk in that door, I set my stuff down, I go in the bathroom, I potty, and then I go weigh. okay? Even if I haven't had anything to drink in between. Who has a pair of lucky weigh-in shoes? Gwen brought her lucky weigh-in shoes Tuesday to show all of us. She has been weighing in those shoes, I don't know how many years. She probably told us, but it was just hilarious because she has a pair of lucky weigh-in shoes. A lot of us weigh in at the same day, same time, same place. Somebody said a few minutes ago that they were virtual only, and so they only weigh every other week, and I'm sure you did it at the same time, every day. I'm guilty of this one. When they had the scales, when we could have the scales right next to each other at our working, so before the pandemic, when the scales were right next to each other, I always went right. I had no idea which scale was which. The scales were kept in the closet. I mean, they were stored in a closet. When they pulled them out, Gwen and Debbie weren't going, oh, I have to put this one on the right and this one goes on the left. They just picked them, they just put them out. But when the scales were side by side, I always went right. Here's the funny thing: since we've changed where the scales are, now that we've come back to in person here in Knoxville, it doesn't matter. I've gone to one time, one another time, one. I don't know, that little superstition for me is broken because they're not side by side. Okay, so even though the scale is an inanimate object, it doesn't have a heart. It doesn't have a brain. A lot of us curse it, kick it, feel like it's has a grudge against us or whatever. But even though the scale is just an inanimate object that does not get to determine your day, it doesn't decide how your day went, it doesn't decide how your week went, it doesn't decide your self-worth, but you can't just ignore it, okay? The scale does provide some valuable long-term information, okay? So each week, it gives us a little bit of data each week or each time you weigh. So if you're weighing every day, or if you're weighing every week, it's giving us a little bit of a tiny snippet of data. So it's giving us a little snapshot piece of data that we need to pay attention to over a long term. So it's kind of like the stock market. People that are day traders, they have no idea how they're doing because they're just, buying, selling, whatever. But over the long term, over 10, 15, 20 years, whatever, they can see how their money is doing. Well, it's the same thing with the weight. Over a long period of time, you want to see it, and by long, I don't mean 20 years, even though it's been 25. But over a period of time, you want to see how that's going. But you can't obsess with it, but you can't ignore it either. Ignoring the scale doesn't make it go away. Okay, sticking your head in the sand does not make the scale go away. So let's make a plan on how we're going to have the confidence to just, the confidence leading up to going to the scale. Okay, so a time and a place. It doesn't matter when or where you weigh, but try to make it the same time of day. So like if it's first thing in the morning, try to make it first thing in the morning every day. If it's like ours is Tuesday night, so I make it Tuesday night every week. And try to make it in the same place. So if it's on your scales at home, try to weigh on your scales at home, every time. So whatever your frequency is. So if your frequency is at home and it's every day, try to keep your scale in the same spot and do your weighing at the same time every single time that you weigh. Give yourself a pep talk. So before you even get on the scale, kind of give yourself a little bit of a pep talk. Remember how you tracked all this week. Hello, Marlene. Remember how you tracked all this week. Remember how, you walked a little extra at lunch the other day. How you packed something to eat. Just keep that in mind. So give yourself a little pep talk before you get up there, because again, there are going to be weeks or times or days or whatever your frequency is. There are going to be times when you're going to see either a gain that you didn't think you deserved or a loss that you probably didn't deserve. That's gonna, there's gonna be times. So just keep that in mind. And then let's make a post-game plan. So win or lose, go ahead and decide what you were gonna do after you weigh in. So Gwen asked us on Tuesday night what we do as soon as we leave our workshop. And it was hilarious because almost all of us said, go eat. Almost all of us. I think every single person either said, go eat, go home and eat, fix something to eat. You already know what you're going to have. Gwen already has it in her mind what she's going to, eat, and hers is much more simple than, some of the rest of us. But I think almost everybody said they were going to go home and eat. Some people said they had planned to use whatever was left of their points for the day or points for the week. That's what they were going to eat that night. Some people said they had a pre-planned, meal that they had, every time. Nobody said I'm going to go home and eat a tube of cookie dough and, I don't know, make up something, and a pizza, and a whole pizza. No, nobody said that. But a lot of people said after the meeting, they were going to go home and eat. Most of us said we were going to go home and eat because we had not eaten much that day. That was part of our ritual. So that was part of our, pre-weigh-in ritual. So, okay. So I want you to think about what you're going to do, and whatever you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. Okay. So you need to decide what it's going to be before you get on the scale. And it does not have to be eating. It could say, doesn't matter what the scale says. After tonight's meeting, or after I weigh this morning, or after I weigh myself and then call somebody or track it or write it down on a piece of paper, or however you're going to do it, but I'm going to weigh in, and after I weigh in and record it however I'm going to do it, then I am going to, and if it's going to be go take a nap, go home and go to bed because it's late at night, go to the gym, eat something, whatever it's going to be, or like Joanna says, she usually has breakfast with her friend Gloria. Okay, so Joanna's going to say this week, she's going to say, okay, whatever the scale says, it is what it is. It is what it is, okay? And whatever the scale says, I'm going to go weigh. I'm going to go weigh, and I'm going to record it somewhere, and then I'm going to go have breakfast with my friend Joanna. So that doesn't mean if I'm not happy with what the scale says, it doesn't mean I'm going to go have breakfast with my friend Gloria, and I'm going to eat all of both of our breakfasts. Okay, so we're going to pre-plan this. Okay, so your homework for this week is hashtag scale confidence, and it's the last week that we're talking about confidence again. But this week it's hashtag scale confidence, and you're going to, for your homework, you're going to tell us when and where you'll weigh in, and then what your post game plan is. So Joanna, you automatically get a badge when those are done because you've already done your homework. But then you want to snap it, type it, take a picture of it, write it down, type it, whatever you want to do, and tag me in it. And it's at IfYouHaveAnEgg if it's on Instagram or on Connect. If you're here on Facebook, you can just type it and I'll see it. Or if you're over in our closed group, if you would pretty please either use the hashtag scale confidence so that it will pop up for me, or if you will tag me at Kelly Green Milligan in our group, in our closed group, then that would be awesome, and you will get your next super cool badge. So, who has a plan? And thank you, Lynn, for sharing that. So who's already got a plan? Who's already thinking about what you're going to do for your homework? While I'm stalling for just a second before we get into the second part of tonight's chat. So I think this is a good one because I personally am really bad about, or I was really bad about getting there, weighing in and going, I tracked all week. I drank my water all week. I walked 7 times, whatever I did, I checked off, and the scale didn't budge at all, or it went up, and then blowing whatever my post-meeting, post-workshop plan was. So I seriously want y'all to think about this week, okay? I really want y'all to think about this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get ready for the second half of tonight's chat because we have a lot to talk about. Quickly, let me say, anybody who wanted the Hocus Pocus tumblers, we have those here at Casey Kitchen Center again. Take a quick sip of my drink before we split down the middle. And yes, thank you, Sandra. I'm going to need a big drink here in just a second. But they also made us some Harry Potter tumblers. So those will be on CaseyKitchenCenter.com. And someone had either asked me about or told me about, and I can't remember which one it was, or maybe it was both, about the mason jar lids, and we got some of them. So if you were looking for these, we got the flip lid, just the flip lid, and then we also got the flip lid that has and these are the recap mason jar lids, and we got the flip lid that has the holder, like you can put your finger through it on the back to carry it. And then we also got the kind where you can put like oil or something in it, like you can mix up your own salad dressing, and it has a spout and you can pour it. And we also got a flip lid, and the flip lid, the whole thing flips up so you can stick a spoon in it if you need to. But just wanted to let y'all know that we do have those, and those are at CaseyKitchenCenter.com. Yeah, so we have all of that now. Okay, so the second half of tonight's chat, this is chat number 238. We're not going to make anything, but I'm going to go ahead and put on my apron so that Casey knows where to split this up. And if you all are new, the first half of the chat is always classroom, and the second half of the chat is always fun stuff. And it's going to be super fun tonight. And it's so funny because this is like, I thought I wanted to talk about this, but I have had 2 people, let's see, my friend Victoria asked me about this week. I had somebody else in Oh, it's sitting on my, I was like, what is wrong with this apron? But it's sitting on the microphone thing. But anyway, my friend Victoria asked me about this week. And we had somebody else in Gwen's group ask about this. So I don't know, the timing must be perfect. But let's get ready for the second half. Everybody stop and get your water. So everybody stop and get a drink of water. If you've not had water all day, this is your perfect opportunity, is to stop and have a sip of water with me. Okay. So I am Kelly, and I'm Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and this is, what day is it? September the 29th. Remember, I've dated everything the 30th all day long. And hello, Barbara. So the second half of tonight's chat, we're going to talk about WW on the go. I have had, again, Victoria has asked me about this. We had somebody in Gwen's group ask about this. I needed it this last week, so I thought it was a perfect time to talk about, just to spend a quick 30 minutes talking about, oh, August. Did I say September, Sylvia? Did I say September? Okay, it's August 29th. I've called it August. I think I've dated everything 8:30 today. Anyway, so I'm just getting ready for September. I guess I'm just a day early. Anyway, so the whole second half of this, we're going to talk about kind of WW Weight Watchers on the go. I needed it this last week. Victoria needed it this last week. I don't know what they were doing at work or where they were headed, but she was kind of like, I need to know right now. And we had somebody ask about it in Gwen's group. So we're going to go over some ways to do WW Weight Watchers, to do that when you're on the go. Okay, the first thing is, I get it. I know. I drove for volleyball. I drove for soccer for years and years and years. So all of you moms who had last year off, all of last year off, I get it. Y'all are busy. So 2020, though, was like the year of the shut-in. It was like we were all shut-ins last year. People were developing hobby farms. I joined a gardenery group. We were doing things that we wouldn't normally have done. New kitchen gadgets were being snatched off the shelf and shipped to homes. People were signing up for home delivery food services. I think Karen tried, I don't know, three or four of them last year, and finally landed on one. And TikTok recipes were explored more than anything. I kept getting TikTok. I don't even have TikTok. Never even done it. Don't know how to do it. Don't want it, I don't think. But I had more TikTok recipes showing up on my feed than anything else. I don't think there's ever been a time in history, a time in recent history, that this many people have been at home making meals, eating meals, whatever. But guess what? Delta variant or not, this year we're going back to football games. We're going back to practices. Kids are back at school. People are traveling more. They're having, travel dinners and lunches out, eating meals in the car. We're all of a sudden, we're kind of back to normal. But I don't know about you, but I'm out of practice. So I had spent 24 years developing my technique for eating out, eating on the run, being gone, traveling for work, things like that. It only took 1 year. It only took a year and a handful of months with COVID for me to get way out of the habit of this. So I don't know if you're out of the habit. I'm out of the habit. So we're all going to get back in the habit together. The first thing we're going to talk about is, hello, Deborah. First thing we're going to talk about is fast food. So not thrilled with fast food options only because of the sodium content, and for the most part, it's a lack of real nutrition. So, we're going to talk about some better options. We're going to talk about some better fast food options, but the sodium content alone, we just need to use this as a backup plan. And the high likelihood of abuse, because I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I have a plan for what I'm going to get when I pull up to the window, and when they say, welcome to, can I take your order? My brain just goes, it just has a little spasm moment. So the ones that are the best for you, first thing I want you to do is to use your app. And I want you to scroll down. If you go to the home page on your app, like on an iPhone, you can scroll down to the bottom, and there's a section called Restaurants. And if you go to the Restaurant section, you can either search by Smart Points or you can search by the restaurant. I don't know how many of you all didn't know that feature was there, but if you go to Restaurants, instead of going to food, like to track food, and then having to search through all of that, just go straight to the bottom on your home page, go to Restaurants, and either click on Smart Points or the restaurant. The reason that the Smart Points feature is there is if you're trying to decide where you're going to go and you only have, or you know how many Smart Points you have or how many you want to spend, you can go straight. You can go straight to, I only want to spend 0 to 3, 4 to 7. I think it's 0 to 3, 4 to 7. I don't remember what the little carousel is, but you can go straight there, and then you can make an educated decision. You can make an informed decision of where you're going to go after you see what falls into those Smart Points. So do not get in line without knowing what you're going to get and without what you're going to order. Don't get in line without knowing what you're going to order. Those are where some of the biggest regret parties are held, is at the end of that line when you've already purchased your food and you realize how many points it is. Okay, so the first one, winner Chick-fil-A dinner. So y'all knew I was going to say that when I'm in the South. That is God's chicken. I mean, it seriously is God's chicken. So 12 grilled nuggets, a cup of fruit, and a small diet lemonade are only 3 points on Purple. So, and that's a lot of food. So I mean, that's a good option. But a pro tip, avoid the sauces if you can, because a thing of Chick-fil-A sauce is like, I don't know, 8 or 9 points. The barbecue is like 2 or 3. They do have one that's like 1 point, but the chicken, it's so good, you really don't need any sauce on it. Okay. The next one is Dunkin'. So a lot of you all are Dunkin' junkies. So yeah, and are going in for food. And Dunkin' makes so many like froofy kid type drinks now that I see a lot of you all going through Dunkin' with your kids, when you're headed to school or headed to soccer practice or whatever. But at Dunkin', a bacon, egg, and cheese wake up wrap with a medium iced coffee with almond milk is 6 points. So you can have that wrap and the iced coffee with the almond milk for 6 points on Purple. And then everybody in your car can find something that they like. Oh no, Kathy says at Wendy's, small Frosty is out of my mouth. Yeah, I know. So you got it. Don't go to Wendy's. Then just don't go to Wendy's. Although they do have a good option, but everybody can find something they like. But a pro tip: the veggie egg white wrap is only 1 point less, and it doesn't. And it's a veggie egg white. I don't think that's as filling as the, let me make sure I get the name right, bacon, egg, and cheese wake up wrap. So it's only 1 point more, and that's more filling to me. But also, pro tip, warning, the turkey sausage wake up is 1 point more. So I would have chosen the turkey sausage wake up instead of the bacon, egg, and whatever it is, bacon, egg, and cheese, because I would have thought that it would have been less. It's actually 1 point more. And then at Taco Bell, when I go to Taco Bell, I take a piece of fruit with me, or if I bring it back, I do, unless I've just not going to use many points that night. But Taco Bell, I know y'all are thinking Taco Bell. Yeah, but Taco Bell, one Doritos Locos hard shell taco is 5 points. And then if you take a piece of fruit with you, that to me, that's enough. But I don't go in. We get it to go. We get the taco to go, so that I don't go in and start trying to add things to my list. But another pro tip: do not be fooled. The taco salad, depending on what you fill it with, could be 17 to 19 points. So I hear people go, "Oh yeah, I got a Taco Bell and to get the salad," and I'm like, "It ain't no salad. It has a little bit of lettuce in the bottom, but beyond that, it is not a salad." So yeah, don't be fooled into getting that. Okay, hotel sleepovers. I know a lot of you all travel for work. John and I used to. We have not had to do that in quite a while, but traveling to conventions and competitions, because I know a lot of you all travel for work. Even more of you go to volleyball conventions, trade show conventions. I mean, I hear more and more things, all these competitions with your kids, gymnastic competitions, all these things, and you're stuck inside with nothing to eat. So when you go to the hotels, when you're doing the sleepovers at the hotel, when you're sleeping over at a hotel, you spend most of your time at the hotel. It can be a weight loss nightmare, but it doesn't have to be. So most decent sized hotels have a complimentary breakfast. Stay away from the flippy waffle thing, okay? Let your kids play with that. Do not get a flippy waffle, because then you're gonna want butter on it, and then you're gonna want syrup on it, and you're just gonna blow all your points, her points, my points, yeah, all of those points. So just stay away from that thing. Let the kids play with that. But choose things like, they almost all have hard-boiled eggs. Almost all of them have hard-boiled eggs. They all have fresh fruit. Some of them they almost all have yogurt, but if you're not sure about how many points are in the particular yogurt that they have set out, just go ahead and scan it. You can use the scanner on your app there, and nobody's gonna nobody's watching you. Everybody just woke up anyway. So go ahead and do that. Or you can take your own packs. I've done this before. I've taken my own packs of either like lower sugar oatmeal packets or instant grits. Take those, and they always have hot water, and go ahead and make your own grits. And grits are like 3 to 4 points, and the oatmeal is 3 to 4 points. But go ahead and do that so that you can control the points. But if you need something that's grab and go, all of them have bananas. They all have bananas. And if they don't have bananas, ask somebody, because that means they just ran out of bananas. But they all have bananas, and they all have those little tiny peanut butter cups. And the little tiny peanut butter cups are like 1 to 2 points. So grab one of those. So grab a banana and a little tiny peanut butter cup, and for 2 points or less, you have breakfast at the hotel. Okay, for sit down scenarios. So post-game parties, you won your soccer match, you've done the, softball tournament, whatever. Dinner meetings from work, hanging out with the other parents while the kids are on inning 11-7, and Sylvia knows what I'm talking about, because you want your kids to win or your grandkids to win, but at some point you're like, oh my gosh, can we lose? Could somebody trip one of our kids so we can just go home? We've been here for days. But for things like that, so a couple of suggestions if you're going to be going out somewhere to eat, and it's somewhere that you're going to sit down and actually eat. Pick 3. Always pick 3. We do this at work too. We'll pick 3 things, 3 choices for somebody else. So if you have any choice in the voting on where you all are going to eat, pick 3 restaurants that that there's something there that you can eat. You're not going to get stuck going to the pizza buffet every time. You have a decent chance of winning. Most of the time people are like, I don't care, what do you want? I don't care, what do you want? I don't know, what do you want? Or they're letting the kids pick. So instead, go ahead and throw out your idea of 3 things, 3 places that you would like to go, that you already know you can find something, decent there. Because you got a much better chance of getting to go to one of those than if you just go, I don't know, I don't care. So don't do that. Okay, know before you go. Even if it's not the restaurant that you picked, even if it's not one of your 3, if it's something that's on the app, or there's something that's similar that's on the app, look up what you're going to eat before you go, if you can. And if you can, go ahead and track it before you get there. If you pick what you're going to get before you get there, and if you go ahead and track it, you are like 1,000,000 times more likely. That's not a real statistic, but you are like 1,000,000 times more likely to actually get what you had planned on if you go ahead and look at it and then choose it. Okay, so my top picks: Cracker Barrel, always. That's the first place that I picked for Victoria when she called, or when she texted this week. Cracker Barrel, you can get 6 grilled chicken tenderloins, green beans, pinto beans, and yes, I know green beans and pinto beans are 2 kinds of beans. My grandmother and my dad, they would be rolling over right now if they knew that we were talking about this. Anyway, yeah, it's 2 kinds of beans. Move on. And seasonal fruit is only 4 smart points on purple. That's just 4 smart points on purple. And a pro tip, if you go to Cracker Barrel, the biscuit without butter. So if you get a Cracker Barrel biscuit without butter, it's 2 points less than if you get the piece of cornbread without butter. Who knew that? Who knew that? Because I would always pick cornbread thinking, oh, that biscuit's so rich and savory. It has to be more points. It's actually 2 points less. And hello, Anita. Yeah, Anita says she tries to pre-count and choose. That's a great idea. So that's my idea on Cracker Barrel. Panera is another good one, and I think most areas of the country have Panera. I know everybody doesn't have Cracker Barrel, but it is starting to ooze out into other areas. But Panera, a cup, not a bowl, a cup of Panera bread, turkey chili, and then half of a bacon turkey Bravo on tomato basil is 11 points on purple. And everybody's going to want what you got because it looks good and it tastes fantastic. And so a half of that sandwich is plenty big enough with the cup of the turkey chili. But do not let them give you bread as your side or the chips. Always get the apple. Always, always, always go for the apple. And then at Applebee's, at someplace like Applebee's, their 6-ounce top sirloin with a house salad and fat-free Italian dressing. And if you add on a grilled shrimp skewer is still 11 points on purple. That's a whole lot of food for 11 points. That's a ton of food for 11 points. But again, pro tip, do not, at places like Applebee's, do not get the steamed broccoli. So don't get the steamed broccoli. It's covered in butter. And even if you ask them to leave the butter off, most of them can't pull that off. Most of them absolutely cannot pull that off. They can't hold it. So you're going to be sorely disappointed if you get broccoli as your side somewhere like Applebee's and then it's drowned in butter. Yeah, I would be ticked off. Okay, then, okay, I left myself 15 minutes, and that's good because it's going to take us 15 minutes to talk about this. So let's get another sip of water. Okay, the last one is my favorite because this is exactly what we do when we're on road trips. This is exactly what we did at all those volleyball tournaments. This is exactly what we did at all those soccer tournaments. Driving down the road, going camping, you know, anytime that we're going to be in the car for an extended period of time, if we're going to be in bleachers for an extended period of time, yeah, hanging out, waiting on kids to get done, swim tournaments. I mean, this is perfect for things like this. So these are going to be cooler tips and tricks, and this is not all of this needs to go in a cooler, but that's what I call it because I put even non-cooler items, I will put them in other containers and put them in the cooler just so that I've got it all together. It's all together. I can roll it in together. I prefer if you're going to go into a soccer, not soccer, like a stadium type situation. Now, I'm not talking a UT football game, okay? So people, if you live in Knoxville and you love UT, and I'm sure that the other college stadiums are like this, they ain't gonna let you come rolling in with a rolling bag, you know. Okay, so let's see. Carol Lou says it's perfect timing. She's going away on a sister's getaway road trip in 2 weeks. Okay, this is perfect. So this is just for Carol Lou. All the rest of y'all don't pay attention. Just kidding. So a football stadium, they're not gonna let you roll in with this, and I've had them kind of look at me sideways sometimes at volleyball tournaments or soccer tournaments or things like that where they had a concession stand. I always just tell them I have dietary restrictions, I'm allergic to something, whatever. If you look pitiful enough and if you sound convincing and if you don't pitch a fit, you got a really good chance of getting in. And if you don't, you can just take your snack, you can eat your snacks out in your vehicle, okay? Because you're going to put all this in a cooler. Ooh, and Sylvia's going to Golden next weekend. Ooh, that's awesome. So be nice. If you're going in if you're going into like soccer tournament, volleyball tournament, you know, whatever, be sweet if you're trying to smuggle this stuff in. Okay, at Disney, we have found that we can get in with every bit of this as long as you don't use glass containers. And they love it if it's see-through, and they love it if if they can look in your bag and see what's going on. So, okay, so just remember, be nice. If it's a situation where they already have food, be nice, before you bring this in, and be a little pitiful. So you don't have to tell them you're doing Weight Watchers. You don't have to tell them you're on a diet. Just tell them you have a dietary restriction or that you're allergic to something, and they're much more likely to let you in. And Barbara's going to, a girls trip to Disney. I'm so jealous. In October, I am super, super jealous. Okay, so let's go through these before I talk and run out of time. First thing, buy, I know it's more expensive, and we talked about this last week, but buy some already pre-prepared things. So especially if it's something with the kids, you are not going to be sitting over there on the sidelines cutting a watermelon or washing grapes, or whatever. So some pre-cut and pre-contained things like these are perfect for those kinds of trips. They're in sturdy enough containers. They'll sit down in your cooler. You can stick some ice around them and keep them cold. The kids can eat them with their fingers. You can eat them with your fingers. It doesn't just have to be for kids, but I love, pre-done stuff like that, exactly for those types of trips. And remember, this works for camping too. So, and we do this for road trips. So next thing, hard-boiled eggs. Hard-boiled eggs can travel anywhere. When we get done hard-boiling them, I peel a couple of them so that we can just grab them and eat them if we're driving somewhere. But if we're not, I'll put them in like an empty yogurt container or something, some other kind of plastic container so that they don't, crack and get all, weird, whatever. But hard-boiled eggs are perfect anywhere that you're going. Any kind of light cheese, like Baby Bell light cheese. We love this. This is 1 point. Any kind of light, like Colby Jack cheese. This is that what this is? This is reduced fat Colby Jack, and this is light string cheese. This is frozen too, string cheese. Things like that are perfect for those kind of trips. You can pack those in a bag. You can pack them in your suitcase. You can put them in the cooler. They should be kept refrigerated, but those are perfect for things like that. If you don't want to take fruit with you, like if you need some other kind of fruit, unsweetened applesauce. I love it. I take unsweetened applesauce all the time. I almost always have some in my bag. This is like, talk about using in the hotel. If you make your own, if you took your own little oatmeal packet and then dumped some of this in there, oh my gosh, it's awesome and amazing. And then people are like, what are you doing? It smells so good. But yeah, so applesauce packets, these also, or unsweetened applesauce things, these also, I put my lid on so tight I can't get it off. Well, that's weird. I've never, ever, ever had that happen. Little lid is, okay, well, we won't use that. Anywho, those fit perfectly down in those type of containers. And again, they also, so like those big things of yogurt that y'all see me get, those big giant things of yogurt, I save all of those because I pack stuff like this in it. Couple of convenience things that you can get. Don't take a giant thing of any kind of nuts. So little packets of nuts, like this is a little packet of salted peanuts. This is 6 points for this packet. These are Emerald's 100 calorie packs. This one is cashews, almonds, and dried cranberries. This is 4 smart points for that. So I can make this last a little bit longer, but if I had a big bag of peanuts or a big bag of this, I'd eat the whole big bag instead of just eating the 6 points worth or the 4 points worth. And these are also good for the kids. So if this is something, and these are not perishable. So if this is something that you're taking the kids on, like again, soccer, volleyball, whatever, or the trip, go ahead and pack those for the kids. Other types of snacks, always great to keep on hand. And I do go ahead and I put these in Ziploc bags, and I should have brought one of them with me. I'll try to remember to take a picture of one of them and show you, but John only uses all laundry pods. So he does all of our laundry, and he's allergic to every smell that there is. And he only uses all, man, I wish I had brought one to show you all, but he uses all laundry pods. And they come in these huge containers like this, but they are great for putting snacks like this down in, like, these kinds of things. We put those down in there, and then on the outside of it, it just says camping snacks. And then when anybody wants one, they just grab one of those containers, take the top off, and they flip through it and look. Like these are Cliff bars, but these are the minis. The minis are 4 points. So I mean, that's it tastes like a little chocolate chip cookie. You can put these in your backpack. Or put them in that, and people can, whoever's with you, again, volleyball, soccer, softball, whatever. This is a great idea, for them, because then they can just dig through there and get what they want. Quest bars, even though, yes, Deborah, my husband does all the laundry. He was at home washing dishes while I was getting ready tonight. Yeah, I'm going to keep him. We've been married, I don't even know how long, 30 something years. I've decided he has to stay. So otherwise I would not have clean clothes. Anyway, so Quest bars, they're 4 to 5 smart points. Quest bars are they're a little hard. People sometimes complain about them, but if you're at a volleyball, soccer, outside, camping, whatever, they get miraculously soft when they're in the heat. These also go great in that pod, container. Always keep something like this, like Premier Protein. So when you go through Dunkin' and you go, almond milk, why did Kelly say I had to have almond milk? I wanted something peach flavored, or I wanted something cookies and cream, or something else. Instead of taking what they were going to put in it, you can always put something like Premier Protein in it. The whole container is a lot. That's a lot. That's 2 smart points. You could split it with somebody. That's plenty. Half of one of these is plenty to put in your to-go coffee. Let me take a breath. Oh no, I better talk fast. How did I already get to 7 minutes left? Okay, so one of my favorite things to do, and one of John's favorite things to eat, I put this in here. This is not mine. This was out of the refrigerator at KC Kitchen Center. I put this in here so that y'all can see this. I see so many of y'all buying these at convenience stores. This is still semi better than going through the Arches or whatever. But it's still not great. So this is I think these are like 8 to 10 smart points, and it's like a little teeny tiny handful of cubed cheese, a little tiny handful of nuts, and then it has some cubed chicken in it. Okay, instead of this, what we do when we're traveling is I pack, again, in a container that is this size, or like the empty yogurt containers, and then I write on the top of it what it is, so everybody looking in the cooler knows exactly what it is. That means turkey tenderloin. I'll make 2 or 3 of them and go ahead, depending on how many people are going to be in the car with us or traveling or whatever, or kids are going to be there, and go ahead and chunk it. So go ahead and cut it into chunk size pieces. And if you're on purple, that's 0. So that's 0 smart points. And then you can do one of these for 1. And then you could eat one of these for 4. So you could make your own little pack like this, and you could have cheese and this cool little thing of nuts and as much turkey tenderloin as you want, and that would still only be, that would be what, 5 points instead of this little tiny skimpy thing. I can't stand these. These are skimpy. Okay, don't buy those. And if you wanted to top it off, you could have a hard-boiled egg with it too. So that would be a perfect idea. Okay, real quick, real quick. One more thing I wanted to show you. Finger size vegetables are always a great idea to keep in there, and things that are sturdy, so like baby carrots or these mini cucumbers. I talk about these mini cucumbers all the time, and every single week I have people go, what is that? Where do you get these? Are those pickling cucumbers? They are not pickling cucumbers. If you go to Trader Joe's, they're called Persian cucumbers across the street at Food City. They are just called mini cucumbers. I've seen them at Sam's, and I have seen them at Costco. I've seen them at both of those places, but these are perfect. You don't have to peel them. They're like burpless tomatoes, cucumbers. Just pick them up and eat them. I mean, wash them before you take them, before you pack them, but just pick them up and eat them. They're so easy to eat. Okay, last thing real quick. We do this a lot when we're standing in line at Disney. We do this, again, soccer, volleyball. We did all soccer and volleyball, so that's all I know how to talk about. But something like this, so like any kind of like low point tortilla that's going to be, again, they're sturdy. So instead of packing bread, which it's going to get squished, and whatever, some kind of tortillas like this. And John and I are loving this. These are fairly new to us, but we are loving the La Banderita carb counter carb lean tortillas. So this is the snack size. They are 1 smart point. The size that's a little bit bigger than this is 1 smart point. The street taco size is 3 of them for 1 smart point. But John made a bologna sandwich with this today. We used to take these to like the volleyball tournaments. Oh, a little free play. We used to take these to the volleyball tournaments. And then in the cooler, so I'd have a pack of some kind of tortillas in the cooler, and then I would have some kind of lean meat in there so that the kids could make whatever kind of sandwich that they wanted to, and pack like some olives to go or some pickles. And what you can do is you can take one of the tortillas, you can put a thing of cheese in the middle, put a couple of slices of the meat. We'll put a couple of the slices of the meat on the tortilla first. Put a piece of cheese, a piece of this 1 point cheese in the middle. Then line up some cucumbers down there, roll it up, and you can have a walk-around sandwich. You can have a walk-around sandwich. It's neat. It's easy. It's not going to be messy. It's not like trying to walk around with a piece of bread that's going to get squished. Or when we're at Disney, we do this. We'll do the same thing. Take this, one of these Jif to-goes. This is 8 points worth of peanut butter. So this whole thing is 8 points. But if you have a buddy with you, you can split it. And so you can have 4 points, but you spread that on here, and then you wrap a banana, wrap it around a banana. Again, you've got a peanut butter and banana sandwich you can walk around with. Or you can always keep these, and these are not perishable. So they don't have to be refrigerated. You can take, like this one is chicken of the sea, wild caught pink salmon, lemon and chive in a little bag, or the bumblebee, and these are getting kind of hard to find here, but the bumblebee, this is already pre-made tuna salad. So like this one, I think this one is 1 or 2 points. This one, the bumblebee sandwich in seconds, is 1 point. And the bumblebee one has a little spoon in here. So you just spread that on there and you got a tuna sandwich. Okay, so how easy is that? Okay, so those are all of my cooler tips and tricks. We do have a couple of prior chats on this if you want to go back and see any of those. So we've got one that's called On the Road Again, and then I think there's like a Disney one, but I will try to remember to post the Disney one that has the cubed turkey in it, because I'm telling you, the cubed turkey, we'll just eat it riding down the road, and it's awesome, and it is so good, and it's so much better for you than running through, again, the Golden Arches. So okay, whew, that was a lot of talking in a little bit of time. So thank you all very much for being here. If you were watching this later on YouTube, go ahead and let the next video roll over. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click this little button down here over here somewhere. Go ahead and click that little button and go ahead and subscribe and click the bell so that it'll notify you next time. If you wanted one of the mason jar caps, those are on kckitchencenter.com. The tumblers are 20 ounces. So somebody asked me what the size was last week. I was guessing 20, but I didn't want to say it. 20 ounces. And if you all didn't notice it, do you see my baby pumpkins here? Casey is making me a little tiny or a little pumpkin patch here for the upcoming fall, since I keep saying that it's September. But she crocheted those. I'll have to show you those next week. Anyway, so y'all have an awesome and amazing week. It was so good to see you. Do not forget to do your homework this week because I love giving out the badges. But y'all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Good night.